My name's Tiffany Grimes, and welcome to the Mindfulness broadcast. We come together every Friday for 15 minutes of just goodness, is how I think of it. It's just goodness. It's just time to recalibrate, to think about ending our week intentionally if you are a Monday through Friday person, and beginning our weekend intentionally and really doing that work mindfully instead of kind of falling out of one and falling into the other and bringing it all with us. So I am at my whiteboard this morning, and I'm going to draw a few things out here and kind of talk a little bit about my week and how mindfulness has been such a key for me, and how it will be a tool for you, and probably is a tool for you, because our lives are not always all that different in terms of those things that trigger us or get us excited or bring us joy or frustration. Well, let's jump into it. So I want to tell you about my week, and it's really been the last 4 weeks, but this week was a beautiful little synopsis, and it looked like this in terms of highs and lows for me. And, sometimes it looks like this, and sometimes it's like a straight line, but this week it was a lot of real highs and real lows, and real highs, and I could feel it happening to me. I mean, it was with I'd kind of inhale deeply before I clicked open the next the next email or went into the next meeting. Um, and I had this particular moment. I had a lot of going around to different offices this week as well. I traveled all over 2 counties and a whole district, and so there's just a lot of going as well. And near the end of the week, I was going, and I had this. I'm going to erase these because this is not how my week was. And uh, so I had been feeling this all week: up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then I was driving to a meeting, and this is a road rage story. So if you, here's your trigger alert. I was trying to get into another lane. I've had my blinker on. I would like my lane suddenly turned into a turning lane. So I was trying to get over, and this person behind me would not let me do it. So finally, I just thought, well, I'm just going to go urban on this person and start to like scoochie out into this road and make my way. Anyway, I finally get over there, honking at me. They pull in front of me because they needed to get over, and give me the tisk tisk finger. And it was just enough that I like felt my rage. I felt that volcano, like this person was going to get what the rest of the week had delivered to me. And I mean, I felt it. I started to feel the rage and like turn and glare at the person as I'm driving by. And I just caught this moment, and I said to myself out loud, you don't get my health. You don't get my health. You don't get it. And it was a reminder to me of like, if I'm filled with this rage, this anger, I mean, it's more than frustration, but um, and judgment. Oh my gosh, the story I started making up about this guy and the things I was saying about myself and the whole town. Like I just immediately hated the whole town. And then I caught myself, and I thought, I am filling myself with all of these stress hormones. I'm cutting off my digestion. I'm cutting off these bodily processes, because evolutionarily I am designed for fight, right? That's my go-to: fight, flight, freeze. I'm like, fight, game on. And filling myself with this, and just thought, this moment is done. This guy's turned. He's no longer with me. And I am still in this moment for a good mile afterwards. And I just caught myself and kept saying, you don't get my health. I'm talking to this imaginary guy who's on doing something else now, tisking somebody else. You don't get my health. You don't get my health. Breathe, breathe. And I'd breathe and calm myself down. And then I would catch myself imagining, kind of yelling at him or telling him how life should be. And then you don't get my health. And I breathe and I calm myself back down. And so I don't know if that resonates with you at all, but things outside of our control are like this: day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, seasonally, annually. And the gift of mindfulness, the thing that I want to remind us of, it is not to live like this. It is not to say, well, in and amongst the ups and the downs, I am steady Eddie. I am mellow and nothing gets me. At least for me, that's not my goal with mindfulness. My goal with mindfulness is to be present and to choose my response to the moment. I want to be up. When life is high and things are amazing and I'm witnessing something beautiful, whether an interaction or a flower blooming or my child growing or having an understanding or somebody's aha in a coaching session or a leadership tool that has worked in a meeting, I want to be present with that. I want to feel that. I want to choose to be in that present moment. But what I want to do is also realize this is temporary, right? That I don't have to set my expectation that now everything has to go like this, or not even feel that because I'm already thinking about that next thing that's going to stress me out and miss this high, right? So it's the ability to be here and be present in this moment and to really feel it without expectation, anxiety, anticipation. Wow, this is really amazing. I'm loving how this is happening. What's happening for me? What are they saying? Let me just be present in this moment. And then in the lows, when that driver drives by with the tisk tisk finger, or the email I open up is going to, roll out into months of work, I get to be in relationship with that too. I get to say, ugh, I'm feeling really frustrated right now. I don't like this. And also, I want to be well. And this is also temporary. So I don't want to give this all my negative attention and really go into a lizard brain response because then I'll miss the next high, right? So how do I want to be in relationship to that low point? What does support look like? What does stress look like? Can I notice my cognitive distortions where when I'm in the low points, I'm like, everybody all the time, I hate this guy, I hate this town, I hate, right? It's like, whoo, those are distortions. Let me be with myself in that moment so I can feel angry, I can feel frustrated, and I can also be well and healthy and let it pass through me, right? So numb isn't my goal with mindfulness. It's to really be present and to choose my relationships with those things that are outside of my control. Personally, that's why I do this work. And it helped me this week. I'm not sitting in jail having hurt the tisk tisk driver because of this tool. So anyway, let's keep strengthening this ability to be present with ourselves and with all that life has to offer. Go ahead and close your eyes, or you can take a soft gaze and just find your breath in your body this morning. And as you do that, invite your whole body to just be here. Maybe you're finding there's some tension in your shoulders or your face or your jaw, or you're holding your hands in some tightened position. And just see if you can allow yourself to be right here, right now, in this moment, giving yourself permission to do whatever it is you need to do to make that happen. Maybe it's a big exhale. Maybe it's kind of shaking a little bit, moving your head around, rolling your head, shaking your hands, feeling your heart. Might be keeping your eyes wide open. Give yourself permission to do whatever it is you need to do. And see if you can invite acceptance, ushering in an acceptance of just all that is right now. All the comfort, all the goodness, all the ergonomic chairs and the ergonomic mouse and the amazing internet and parts of your body that are well and healthy and functioning. And then usher in acceptance for all that is out of your control that maybe you don't particularly like or agree with. Maybe the discomfort in your body, a sickness that's present, a decision that was made, the emails that are multiplying as we're here, a weather pattern, just invite it all in. Let it sit at your feet. One of the phrases I really love is, and this too. And this too. It's all of it. There's the comfort and the discomfort. There's the joy and the pain. There's the focus and the distraction. And this too. And neither one of those defines us or our lives. It just is. It's the ups and the downs. And if I'm looking at all of this, laying at my feet, or describing it, thinking about it, can I just make room for it all? Since it's already here. Doesn't mean I have to move everything into the category of I like it. There's a difference between I like it and acceptance. And if I can accept it, I can begin to be in choice about how I relate to it. It's the only way we get to be in relationship with it. If I deny it or avoid it, it sure has a lot of power. This too. And this too, and all of it. And how do I want to be in relationship to those things? And also, how can I be present for the good? Our brains are trained to keep our focus on the bad, on the negative, on the hard, on the disagreement. And while all of our focus goes there, we miss so many moments of good. So how can I also train myself to be really present and build a relationship for the good, for the joy? And as we begin to close, I want to bring your attention back to your breath. And as you're breathing, I need to consider using that phrase as a tool today. Ah, and this too. Yesterday, I sat in a WorkSource office and I got to hear bells ringing all over as jobs were secured. And I almost missed the joy of that moment because I was stuck reading an email that was not what I wanted, right? So it's every moment we can pause and say, ah, and this too, listen to these bells. Ah, this too, here's an email. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. You can bring the gaze back up and close your practice in whatever way is meaningful for you. Thank you all for being here. Be well. See you next Friday.